In this episode, we're going to talk to you about how the military is helping provide protected habitats that can sustain populations of endangered species here on Guam.
One of the ways the military protects the environment is by protecting threatened and endangered species that are present in areas managed by the military. As in many parts of the world, Guam is home to a number of endangered and protected plant and animal species.
Just as we spoke about the military's efforts in forest rehabilitation in our last episode, the military also has plans for setting aside habitat for conservation throughout Finagazan and Northwest Field. The DoD has agreed to set aside 4 acres of habitat undeveloped for every acre of land impacted for the relocation of Marines to Guam. Combined with our forest enhancement project, we will be able to provide wildlife habitat of 5,234 acres to support the recovery of endangered species in northern Guam.
Removing the ungulates so native tree species can come back. We're removing the invasive species so more trees can come back. We're outplanting natives so we have more native species, and this is all to provide more habitat for these endangered species. So when you're going up on Guam, there's no birds, right? Like my generation, there's no birds when you go out and you walk in the jungle and you don't realize what you don't have. And I didn't realize it until I went to Rhoda in Saipan. You see the birds there. And that's what I want to bring back to the island. And I think the resources with this program is the only way right now that we're going to do that.
To help restore the habitat of the Guam Micronesia kingfisher, which now only survives in captivity, Joint Region Marianas has already obligated more than $2 million in funding on projects and looks forward to additional investments of up to $2 million per year for the next 8 years, with the priority of controlling ungulates and brown tree snakes.
Federal funding and land conservation associated with the buildup helps provide protected habitats that can sustain populations of endangered species, such as the Mariana fruit bat, and ensures habitat is available for the potential reintroduction of the Marianas crow and the Micronesian kingfisher.
Forest enhancement is one of our conservation measures. It's meant to recover the endangered species such as the sea hick or the Guam Micronesian kingfisher, the coco or the Guam rail, the agate, which is the Mariana crow, and the fanihi, which is the Mariana fruit bat.
The military also collaborates with Marianas Avian Research at Colorado State University to test new conservation strategies to assist in potential reintroduction of the Micronesian kingfisher to Guam. The presence of the invasive brown tree snake on Guam has led to the departure or extinction of 10 of the 12 native bird species present on the island. Scientists at Anderson Air Force Base are trying to support bird recovery efforts by encouraging the Micronesia starling species to use protective nesting boxes that prevent brown tree snakes from entering the nests and eating the eggs.
The military also has several programs on Guam to help protect endangered green and hawksbill sea turtles. Adult sea turtles found on Guam typically migrate from their foraging grounds, primarily in the Philippines and Japan, to mate and nest on Guam's beaches. At Taragi Beach on Anderson Air Force Base, natural resources staff monitor for turtles that come ashore to build nests and lay their eggs, survey the beach several times a week to locate nests, and count how many turtles have successfully hatched. Biologists monitor the turtles' nesting habits to determine how successful and productive this area is for turtle hatchings. Since the program's inception, biologists have observed an increase in numbers of turtle nests. In addition to sea turtles, the military has a number of programs in place to protect and help to recover other threatened and endangered species.
In 2014, Joint Region Marianas started a marine monitoring project and conducted surveys of 20 sites in the waters around Naval Base Guam and Anderson Air Force Base, looking at coral richness, fish biodiversity, and mobile invertebrates.
The DoD's new construction on the island is a net positive benefit to all protected species affected by military development. This means that the island's natural ecosystem will improve because of the funding and resources that come with the establishment of a Marine Corps base here on Guam.
Although it may seem counterintuitive to some, due to federal regulations, the restrictions placed on military activities are more stringent than those imposed on local government or on the private sector. In effect, we are compelled by environmental regulations to make this island ecologically healthier than we found it.
If you have any questions about what we presented today, please feel free to call us at 349-4055.
Or email us at cjrmpao@fe.navy.mil.